That's why I've been waiting, just to see what you've done. Okay, a little intermission. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 27, entitled Attack by Chandraveda and the City of King Ranjana. Text. 21. Okay, before we start, do you remember last time when we discussed? Yes.
Once we get old, we can't hear. Now we have chance to accept yours.
Without reading. Yes.
Don't rely on your body. The whole body
shouldn't rely on the body, because body will fail. Yes, because when the old age comes, what will you be able to do? Nothing. And then you think you're going to be doing something spiritual, but what spiritual are you going to be doing? So we should not think that spiritual life is what is Praladna. Anybody knows what is Praladna? Don't wait for old age. Don't wait for anything. You should immediately start practicing Krishna consciousness. From the beginning. So now we think, yes, body is supporting our all kinds of activities, and we can use the body in various ways and this and that. Maybe. But even then, that's not the case. How many times, even now, body is failing us, but we are in so much illusion that we are still thinking that it's up to our endeavor that the body will cooperate. No, it's not up to our endeavor. Sometimes anybody has experience of when your some limb, let's say leg, becomes numb. If you sit for a long time in certain posture, no, then you can't get up, no, and you feel like some kind of electricity, and I touch that, you want to step on the toes or something, feet, it's just you don't have a sensation. So body is not responding the way we wanted it to respond. So that's what we should not be illusioned, thinking that body will cooperate always the way we wanted it to cooperate. That's not a fact. That will not happen. Can we increase it a little bit? Let's increase the volume. Turn all of them off, then later keep them on this. Huh? Okay. See? Difference. So that's what old age, we're discussing old age. You're not, you're already old already. Right now you're old already. Don't think you're young, you're old. Every moment you're becoming older. Every moment. So that's why we have to be conscious, and that's good that the body is changing. That's good because it will make us more Krishna conscious. It will make us more Krishna conscious. At least if it will not make us more Krishna conscious, we are not fortunate to have a devotee association, but then it will make us less bodily conscious, or at least in the sense that we won't have so much expectation from the body. My own just said he had hepatitis C, liver disease, and sometimes it's connected to various kinds of side effects. One of them is some kind of, well, there is a technical term called encephalopathy, where you just get a little brain fog, you kind of forget a little bit something. And so then he said, of course, there wasn't so much happening, wasn't to that degree affected, but he said he was contemplating about it, and he said, so I get that need realization that I don't really need a brain. No? Your brain becomes affected. So he said, I don't really need a brain. He said, I need a heart. Brain is not so important. The heart is more important. To practice bhakti, bhakti is a matter of heart. Bhakti is not a matter of intellectual adjustments, understanding. Bhakti is a matter of emotion, bhakti is a matter of realization, bhakti is a matter of surrender, relationship with Krishna. So he said, no matter what happens to brain, it doesn't matter if we have that bhakti towards Krishna. So it's a matter of heart. But again, in old age, or in any age, if our body becomes deprived of certain ability, that's a big drawback, no? It's a big, it creates a lot of difficulty. As you become a little sick, you get some running nose, get some little fever or something, and how difficult it becomes, huh? Just that much. What to speak of when the organs start to fail or something. It's a machine, what do we expect? Cannot be like Bhishma. And like Bhishma, all of his parts of the body pierced by arrows. You just get one arrow. Yeah, it's so painful. Of course, if it's not in any vital organ, then you're dead. And just get one arrow pierced or something. It's just, you're out. You're out of the game. So painful. You get pierced by, say, you get pierced by thorn. Even that much. Sometimes the boys walk barefoot in the parkland or something. You get pierced by thorn. Anybody ever stepped on some construction work on the nail? Nobody has that experience. I've seen sometimes. And try to recollect. Or some you step on, and then for weeks after you're in so much trouble, so much difficulty. So just imagine Bhishma being pierced, every part of his body, so many arrows being pierced, like everywhere, and he's still alive. How can you do that? Of course, he has a special mystic power, special blessing. So he wasn't dependent on the body. But these are exceptions. These are very extremely rare exceptions. Yeah. And somebody doesn't have to be dependent on the body. That can just survive. And like we hear in Anakashipu, practically his whole body is being eaten by ants, and he was retaining his life force in the bones. Marigold. But we are anyway, we don't talk about those. What is our position? We're so dependent on the body. That's why body also has to be nourished. That's why also body has to be body. It's compared to Srimad Bhagavatam to a tree. The tree has its fruits. So what is the greatest fruit of the body? Ability to perform devotional service. So that bhakti, that's the greatest fruit of the body. That's why we take care of the body, so we can use it in Krishna service. So even when we go old, we kind of start getting old. Yes, that's inevitable, but at least now, when we are young, that's another point. We have to be very cautious. What are we doing with the body? Let's say we get a car. You immediately start, like speeding up and like braking and I don't know, just driving really carelessly. You break the car very soon. No, it's not going to last. And I know some people who really take care of the car. And this car can go for decades and still run the same, and still drive the same car. No? But if you're careless, the same car within a year, 2 or 3, it's finished. So another thing with the car, what kind of fuel are you putting in your car? No, it matters. It affects the engine. No. So also, what are you eating? No, it affects your body. What are you breathing? What are you drinking? What are you taking in anyway? So how do we take care of the body? So to that extent, it will be reflected how long we will be able and how well we will be able to use the body. No. So when the old age comes, then you'll still see, Srila Prabhupada, how, nobody could keep up with Srila Prabhupada. Nobody could keep up. He slept less than anyone, ate less than anyone, worked so hard that nobody else could compete. When he would walk, the devotees couldn't also, keep a pace with it. So agile, so energetic, so, had so much stamina. And how sharp in his mind he was. So even on the deathbed, practically last few moments, he was giving purpose to his Srimad Bhagavatam commentary. So that's why the way you live your life, then you see it now. That will reflect in your old age. But even if the body, for whatever reason, even if the body breaks down, which again is in most cases, it's inevitable. But still, then the mind should remain sharp. Consciousness should be clear, pure Krishna consciousness. Okay, any other points, last? Yeah.
We also got to know that Janavastha is not, we are under this committee right now because then we are busy and we that people are getting diseases and their mind is not working properly, their life goes into a phase and it's not going to be as good right now. So performing bhakti right now is really important.
Okay, performing bhakti is important. Yeah, because you're not going anywhere. Because you'll have to accept another body. And you have to accept another jhana, another marriage proposal from old age, which nobody wants. That's what he said. He said nobody wants the old age. But she comes uninvited. Yes. Huh. What?
Hedonism.
Okay, hedonism. Okay, what did I say?
Which means that one thinks that the most important part of our life is to enjoy material pleasures.
Okay. very gross sensual gratification. People think that's the goal of life. Yeah, but that's how we break the body. Anything in excess, it's not good. That's also common sense. So everything should be moderate. If we overindulge in anything, there are some consequences. So just keep on indulging. Again, there is a law of diminishing returns. You've heard of that expression, the law of diminishing returns. No matter how much you keep on trying, tasting, feeling, hearing, whatever, anything, it's just the quality is becoming lesser and lesser. And your ability to appreciate it becomes lesser and lesser. So that's a material life. That's what Prabhupada said. Chanting is something that is very unique. Because somebody challenged Prabhupada. Actually, Prabhupada was giving a lecture in one college. So he said, why we can't just chant any repetitive words if we chant? We'll also, we'll just get the same, we'll just become absorbed in that and we'll just become meditative about it. We can just chant anything. So Prabhupada said, yes, you keep on chanting. Whatever you want to chant, keep on chanting. And then he said, when you get tired, to try Hare Krishna. You may chant, what do you want to chant? Anybody wants to suggest, you want to chant something? You can chant numbers 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. For how long can you chant? You get tired of it because it's material, some vibration. It becomes boring. There's no substance, there's no utility. No? As the Prabhupada said, when you get tired, then try Hare Krishna. And you'll never get tired. Why? That's because it's spiritual sound vibration. And that's the proof that it's spiritual sound vibration. It's not material sound vibration. Okay, what else? Yes.
When a man found better, he lost his soul.
Okay, that's what we said, bodily consciousness. So when we are bodily conscious, then we cannot be spirit conscious. Anything else? Thank you.
Same thing, and all kind of material happiness will be disappear. Start bhakti as.
Okay, that was stated in the purport. That when the old age sets in, all types of material happiness will disappear. That was discussed last. Okay, let's read today's verse 21. Let's see Sanskrit. Kadarchit atmanasa brahma lokan mahimgatam arvrihat ratam mantu janati kama mohita. Translation and purport by His Govindas A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. When I once came to this earth from Brahma Loka, the highest planetary system, the daughter of time, wandering over the universe, met me. Knowing me to be an avowed brahmachari, she became lusty and proposed that I accept her. The great sage Narada Muni was a Naishtika brahmachari, that is, he never had sex life. He was consequently an evergreen youth. Old age, jara, could not attack him. The invalidity of old age can overcome an ordinary man, but Narada Muni was different. Taking Narada Muni to be an ordinary man, the daughter of time confronted him with her lustful desire. It requires great strength to resist woman's attraction. It is difficult for old men. And what what to speak of young? Those who live as brahmacharis must follow in the footsteps of the great sage Narada Muni, who never accepted the proposals of Chara. Those who are too much sexually addicted become victims of Chara, and very soon their lifespan is shortened. Without utilizing the human form of life for Krishna consciousness, the victims of Chara die very soon in this world. Om Gyana Tyaglasya Swami Namaste Saraswati Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. When I once came to this earth from Brahma, the highest planetary system, the daughter of time, wandering over the universe, met me. Knowing me to be an avowed brahmachari, she became lusty and proposed that I accept her. Okay. So, this is what we see. It's quite often the case that the first target of lusty woman is who? Somebody who wears chakra. That's pretty often. Of course, in devotional service. Devotional what? Yeah. Because that's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to be going on. You should be Krishna conscious. But we are not really Krishna conscious. We become Maya conscious. And funny enough, we find someone else who is within Krishna consciousness, but it's also Maya conscious. And then we think we are together in Maya and Krishna consciousness. So that's very nice. And that's what somebody noted about some boys who are practicing Gurukul life. So when they get really excited overly, due to, of course, the effect of the teenage age, then they want to explore, but they don't want to explore. That's an interesting phenomenon. They don't go and explore with some materialists, but they explore amongst each other. What is material life like? So unfortunately, also devotional service, devotional practice. So sometimes there are different distractions which kind of, in the name of devotional service, take us away from Krishna, and has nothing to do with Krishna. And it's like some kind of side benefit of your devotional life. You chant, but what do you chant? Because you want some nice girl. Now, how many of you have come here to find some nice girl? Nobody. Just ask. Come to Krishna. I know some people. I'm not joking. I know some people, and I'm not going to be thinking now about India. But first one that came to my mind was one very famous musician in the West, and he was known to come to Hare Krishna programs because he would just, look for some very qualified, cultural, girls. And that was quite known. So that's not really the purpose of devotional life, no? That's not really the purpose. It's not the goal of spiritual practice. So similarly, like this, some girls also come. They come and they're looking for a suitable husband. They think, wow, look at this. He's so, just like Sita. What was Sita looking for? And someone who would be husband, Anybody knows it? What was he looking for? Anybody knows? If you don't know that, then you have to guess, because otherwise we'll be guessing, we keep on guessing for ages. Okay, one thing she said, he should be quiet, he should be very eloquent, should speak nicely. The way he's expressing should have knowledge, he should be eloquent. Another very important thing was that, of course, he should be very cultural, should have a very powerful background. And the most important thing that she was looking for was that he should have his senses under control. So that was also, so all of those things were not definitely. So he should have his senses under control. So that was also when, he was attracted to Sita, but then immediately, I think Vishwamitra was there, and so they said, okay, we can arrange for the marriage, but Lord Ramachandra said, no, until my father agrees, then there won't be any. So Sita was very impressed, and wow, somebody has, senses under control, and he won't act, without any permissions of the seniors. So then that was the, very powerful point that she was looking for, and she became very attractive, even more. So like this, when somebody has, at least to some extent, senses under control, that's a very attractive quality. That's why sometimes some girls find it a challenge whether they could attract, somebody who is trying to be attracted to Krishna. But there's a Prabhupada, he tells very nice story that he knows when he was in Prayagraj, when he was doing business, and then he heard that there are many people who want to practice spiritual life. They go to Himalayas. They try to become this Baba, that Baba, practicing some kind of spiritual life. And then there are some ladies who think that if I manage to attract some of that men, then I will get a very good son, because they're such a holy, sense-controlled, spiritual people. So then I can have a very nice son. So then they go and then they seduce some of those sadhus, sages. So then Srila Prabhupada said, well, that was known, that such kind of cases happen. But then he said, there are some men, therefore knowing, they go to Himalayas and they pretend to be big sages and sadhus. And then they cheat those so-called ladies that they want to cheat. They do sadhus. So there's a mutual cheating going on. And has nothing to do with spiritual life. So that's something hopefully should not be happening in Krishna conscious circles. Circles or circus. Then it becomes a circus. And it's not a spiritual life. So it has nothing to do with sense control. And it's nothing to do with the goal of having Krishna as the ultimate goal. So that's why one has to really cultivate the higher consciousness, or at least higher knowledge, so that one doesn't allow oneself to become distracted by mind, because that's also mind. You may say, you're chanting Hare Krishna, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, what is the problem? Well, there is a problem. Because then what kind of chanting is that? There's some defective chanting there. If Krishna is not the goal, then what kind of chanting is there? You know, then you settle for some such kind of a illusory relationship. I mean, if that's supposed to be the goal of chanting, that's not the goal of chanting. So it does happen many times, and in quite some cases, and devotees then do have experience that yes, Maya comes also in the form of a devotee. Maya also can come in the form of a devotee. Then if one is not cautious, and one will become bewildered, and one will really lose the ultimate goal of spiritual practice. We know how many examples. One of the better ones, Vishwamitra, no? When who came first? Menaka. No? And then he became so attracted, and who was Shakuntala was born? No? Yeah, Shakuntala. I think it was Shakuntala. Right? Yes? Somebody is born. Anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter. So then he became very upset. But what is the use? Like, you know, he became a victim of attraction, or let's say lust, and he lost all his power, all his Shakti. Whatever he was meditating and doing tapasya at that moment, that was lost. It was going into that distraction. So then again he started doing his tapasya, he started doing penance, doing this, that. And then Indra again became disturbed, you know, worried. Then he sent another Apsara. Anybody know? You don't have to know. Yes. Ramba Nandi. That's like Tamil. So he sent Ramba. So then Vishwamitra apparently learned the lesson, but then again, he failed. Why he failed that time? Because he became angry. That's also another desirable quality. And that anger consumed his previous credit of the austerities and tapasya and renunciation, whatever sacrifice he did. And then he burned them. He had so much power. He lost all that credit in burning them. Pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. But again, because again, last, if it's not satisfied, then it becomes what kind of quality? Huh? Last is not satisfied, then what happens? Anybody has experience? When last is not satisfied, then what happens? Anger. Yes, on one side, and then another. If you're still not, if you, let's say, you do get some object of lust, but you're not satiated, then what is the other quality that manifests? Huh? Greed. So both, let's say they're both manifestations from lust, greed and anger. So we see Vishwamitra, and he became angry. So it's another manifestation of lust. So that's why lust is always considered Ihavairina, the greatest enemy of the self, because it keeps one perpetually therefore in this material world. So we see that when one conquers, at least some extent for them, then there is something that is very attractive about that person who has his senses under control. At least to some extent, or whatever, to whichever extent. There's something attractive about that. Like somebody who is therefore renounced. Renunciation is one of the qualities, right? We know. Yashasa, Vidyasa, Shriya, Chan, Bhavana, Vitin, Chan, Bhaga, I think that. said that 6 qualities that Supreme Absolute possesses in its completeness: wealth, knowledge, beauty, and wealth, renunciation. So renunciation. So it's very attractive. How can somebody be happy and satisfied and satiated without apparently having anything? Even doesn't caring about the body overly, so to say. No? So that there is some, and you see people who are practicing spiritual life, they have some, what is it that shines? What is that it's attractive? It's that ojas. It's that purity that it's attractive. When you see material people that put, bowling, you go to makeup room or something, they put so much powder, this and that. But they're not really attractive. There's no real beauty. What is the real beauty of a woman? But it says in Shastra, it's her chastity. Chastity. So that's purity. That purity, that is so attractive. White children are, let's say, sometimes appearing very attractive because they didn't display that lust yet. Once one displays the lust, that selfishness, immediately contaminates everything. And there is no attraction. There's no real attraction. There might be some other qualities to some extent, whatever, and then one may be attracted to that. But there's no attraction of that person in itself. Why was Prabhupada so attractive? You can hear still, now we don't have time discussing this. Why was he so? Because he was so pure. He was shining, he was glowing. His aura was so radiating. Because he had no love. He had just love for everybody else. So that's very attractive. So that's why we have to be cautious when we even practice Krishna consciousness. Then say like this: Jara, Jara, long A, yes, Jara. Jara may come. Jara may come in the name of Krishna consciousness. Jara will approach. Yes, can I chant one Rama? And then you have to, then Jara will ask, how do you chant? Please show me the Rama. Then you have to show. So Jara will come. So we have to be very conscious and cautious. Because why Jara? That's another important point. Why Jara here? Because with misusing the body, old age sets premature, much faster. That's it. That's what we said last time we were discussing. People who exploit their bodies, they become much more aged. They age much earlier, much more rapidly. And you see yogis sometimes, they practice meditation, this and that, they preserve their vital fluid, and so they look very young. There were cases in which Prabhupada said there was one fellow who was like 200-300 years old, he still looked like a boy. How is that? It's possible by the yoga meditation. Of course, that's not the goal of life. That's not the goal. The goal of life is to become Krishna conscious. But the point is also not to allow oneself to become distracted by anything material. And what is the greatest material distraction? Attraction towards something. One should not allow that. One should always keep oneself Krishna conscious by knowledge, by being engaged in Krishna conscious practice. And that's why we see, even if Jara comes, of course, Jara is not going to come like invalidity, old age or something. Jara will come and she can assume very wonderful forms. The most enchanting forms, the most bewildering forms. But still, one will not be attracted. Why? Because one will be attracted to Krishna. One will not be just like, how did Hanuman, when Hanuman jumped to Lanka, he had to find Sita. Did Hanuman ever seen Sita before? No, he had no idea who Sita is. So he was trying to figure out, he had to, how many princesses Ravana? thousands. And Hanuman had to go through all of those. He had to go through all of those. Means when they were sleeping at night, and you can just better you don't have to imagine. When they were sleeping and this and that. He had to see each and everyone's face, figure out somehow, and just be seen. So that's something that's absolutely forbidden practically for any brahmachari to contemplate, to look in any woman's face. Why culturally the ladies would wear cover the face? What speak like this, you just go and try to examine this exercise. But Hanuman, that he did it as a service, one thing. And second, what was he doing? He was chanting Ram, 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 Ram. He was taking shelter of the holy name of Krishna. So that's why he was not affected. There was one very nasty reporter in the West, somewhere in US on TV. So he asked the question of Srila Prabhupada, why are you talking? Why are you so much in this illicit relationship, extramarital relationship? Why are you so much against that? This is so nice. Well, what is the problem with this? And then Srila Prabhupada said, now you have this relationship, then you'll be looking for another relationship, then again another relationship. You're never peaceful. Don't play with the moment. I'll confiscate it. Really. Don't do this nonsense. Focus on him. So Prabhupada said, you're never peaceful. You're never peaceful because you're looking always for another partner. You're always searching this, what. So, you can never become peaceful. And if you're not peaceful, can you be happy? No. So that's what Srila Prabhupada said. That's the most common reason why we are against it. Because you will never be peaceful. And if you're never peaceful, how can you be Krishna conscious? Okay, let's set even Krishna consciousness aside. Let's say you can never be happy. And of course, the highest form of any kind of happiness is Krishna consciousness. So that's why we should not allow ourselves to become distracted by anything that is not Krishna conscious, and then comes in the form as Jara. Jara. Yeah. She'll look for anyone who will accept her. But of course, she has also her priorities. Yeah. But don't, it's funny, there's some jokes, there were some devotees who were like overly picky over whom to marry. Yeah. And they searched for decades, it's not just years, for decades. What about this girl, what about that girl, constantly being so-called Krishna conscious. So-called Krishna conscious. What about this one, what about that one? Yeah. And then somebody told him, hey Prabhu, that man is already married. Sure, man, but then go and get married. Don't search for it. It's like, like sometimes you get to the parking lot and, there's no space. It's not that you can choose now, okay, I get this space to park my car. No, you just take whatever is available. But anyway, that's when you have a choice. If you don't have a choice, then just somehow or other figure out how to perform the dharma in a dharmic way, and don't park it somewhere where you get a ticket. Have to be careful. Don't park your car, somewhere outside or something, and be told to wait. No, that also happens. That will be a problem. But anyway, here Jana, she is attracted to Narada Muni. Yeah. She thought she is also like an ordinary man, of course, but very attractive, and she was very lusty. Mm. But Narada didn't care. Why? Because Prabhupada said, it is very difficult. It requires a great strength to resist a woman's attraction. That's a fact. It requires a great strength to resist a woman's attraction. If they want that, they can do anything to try to seduce one's mind. It's difficult for old men, and not to speak of young. So those who live as brahmacharis must follow in the footsteps of great sage Narada Muni, who never accepted the proposals of Java. Those who are too much sexually addicted become victims of Java, and very soon their lifespan is shortened, so that we already said. One exploits one's own body, and this is definitely holding to a very quick consequence. So Prabhupada concludes, because our time is over, it's too fast. Without utilizing the uniform of life of Krishna consciousness, the victims of Jara die very soon in this world. So if you die very soon, how can you practice Krishna consciousness? You affect your life in so many ways. You lose the purity of the mind. Physically you affect the body. But then, where's your then open chance for practicing Krishna consciousness? They said we need a body to perform devotional service. But then we become distracted. We misuse the life. Something that's absolutely required. So that's what we have to be. Okay, any questions quickly? Anybody have experience with Jara? Somebody wants to share something? Yes.
In this part, we have to, most of the people have to make the relationship.
Okay, in this world, we have come to make relationships. We have come to do that. So I'm just repeating this.
If we are getting a girl like a devotee,
If we are getting a girl like a devotee, then
what is the problem?
what is the problem? What is the problem?
That is my question.
Yeah, no, I'm just. What is the problem? We will find out. And they're all very unique. So, what is the problem that nobody can say now? And then you will find out. But once you find it out, then it's too late. There's nothing much that you can do about it. Then the only thing you can do is turn hope for Vanaprastha. Start preparing for Vanaprastha. So it's not a problem, it's actually a blessing. It's not a problem, it's a blessing, because it will start you preparing for Vanaprastha. Because so much we cultivate that attachment towards some other body, and it's very difficult to live like Narada Muni or something, be that Krishna consciousness. Then it's a blessing that we start living with someone and start experiencing so many problems that it will keep us then, it will guide us towards detachment. So it's not a curse, it's a blessing actually. And then we'll start hopefully becoming more detached from material relationship and start being attached to spiritual relationship. So what specifically might happen, there are many things that may happen. So that's very unique in every relationship. There are some general things or general problems that might happen, but anyway, we don't have much time to discuss this. You can come on Saturday 5 to 6, please send us. Then we can address this question in more details. Okay? Anything else? Yes. Indra, is it true that Indra became an obstacle. For devotee, nothing is an obstacle. See, everything is, devotee sees everything as opportunity to come closer to Krishna or to be more Krishna conscious. But if you think that Indra will send some Apsara because you are practicing Krishna consciousness, wait. One more time, wait. Indra doesn't have to be involved. We are insignificant for him. Yeah, okay. Anything else? Doesn't have to be Apsara. It can be any frog. I mean, I'm just saying frog because there's any so-called beautiful woman of this world is in that comparison to Apsaras. You know, that's the comparison. But for us, even that will be overly bewildering. But he doesn't have to get involved with someone like Apsara. Yeah. Who is doing tapasya? Okay, Vishwamitra. Okay. Yeah, Indra was upset. Indra was very attached to his position. He was thinking if somebody else performs austerity, might achieve my position. But of course, that was not, Indra's position is for his, it's for a certain period of time. But somehow or other, he was, I guess, contemplating or extending it or whatever. They just wouldn't tolerate any competition, being more passionate in nature. So that's why he was obstructing anybody. Even though they might not necessarily perform austerities, but they did for that purpose of becoming an Indra. But still, he would create an obstacle like that. Because he was attached to his position. Okay, let's leave it aside. Okay, we'll stop here. So Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Premanande, Hari Bol.